Right now at noon, the family of UW Whitewater student who drowned at a Mexican resort has filed a wrongful death lawsuit. Plus, the president's former lawyer is pleading guilty to lying to Congress. Hear what the president is saying about Michael Cohen. And outgoing House Speaker Paul Ryan is addressing Congress, what he's saying about us Wisconsinites.
This is News 3 at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 on this Thursday afternoon. We'll get to those stories in a bit. But first, let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield to look at our first alert forecast. Kind of a nuisance snow out there.
Yeah, just about an inch basically everywhere across southern Wisconsin. Not too much to worry about. May have had a couple extra minutes to clean off that car this morning, but basically all of us are done with that snow, at least that round. Live look in Madison, we can still see that snow on the grassy surfaces and the rooftops on the WISC-TV Skycam. But on Doppler track, we can also see that wave, that system moving to the north and east, not to bother us. I want to draw your attention, though, to what you're seeing closer to southern Iowa and Omaha, Nebraska. Some mixed precipitation showing up there. That's our next wave that will come through overnight, and especially for spots south of Madison, could provide just a little bit of snow, sleet, and maybe even some freezing drizzle. So that's something to watch. Temperatures we're watching move into the 30s finally. Once again in Madison, Lone Rock, and Mineral Point, 32 in Janesville. Wind speeds helping us out a little bit, bringing some slightly warmer air from the south and east. But really, that wind, not a big problem, so that's good news. Temperatures and winds over the next 12 hours will remain in the mid-30s for highs, and that wind remaining pretty light as we head into the next 12 hours or so. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll talk about a potentially messy weather system on the way this weekend. Alert days in the forecast, so we'll go over all of that in your first alert forecast.
December 1st, here we go.
Yep.
All right, Dave, thank you. See you in a few minutes. Topping the news today, the family of a 20-year-old Wisconsin woman who drowned at a Mexican resort last year has filed a wrongful death lawsuit. Abby Connor's family is suing the resort in Playa del Carmen and the U.S.-based company which handles its booking. The civil complaint alleges the hotel and Visit Us knew that alcoholic beverages served at the resort were tainted and unfit for human consumption. The death of the University of Wisconsin Whitewater students from Pewaukee sparked an investigation by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel that has exposed dozens of other tragedies experienced by tourists visiting Mexican resorts in recent years. The investigation revealed how tourists blacked out after drinking small and moderate amounts of alcohol. Madison police investigating after a home was struck by a bullet on the city's north side. Police responded to multiple reports of shots being fired near the 800 block of Troy Drive near Warner Park last night. A nearby home was hit by one of the shots fired. A 36-year-old woman inside at the time of the incident, no injuries reported. Police asking anyone with information regarding the incident to call the Madison Police Department. A New Jersey man is charged with killing his brother, his sister-in-law, and their two young children. 51-year-old Paul Canario was charged with 4 counts of murder today. Prosecutors say he repeatedly shot his brother, fatally stabbed his brother's wife and 2 young children, and then set their mansion on fire in a quadruple homicide. Prosecutors say Canario is also accused of setting his own home on fire with his family inside in an attempt to create an illusion that the entire family was being targeted. He has not entered a plea. President Trump's former personal lawyer has admitted to lying about his contacts with Russians. Michael Cohen pleaded guilty to lying to Congress during its investigation of Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. CBS News has learned that Cohen is admitting that he lied to Congress about the extent of a potential Trump Tower in Moscow. Cohen told Congress negotiations over the real estate project ended in 2016 when, in fact, they lasted into 2017 when Trump became president. He also admits that he had much more contact with President Trump than he previously admitted to.
This is one more example of one of the president's closest allies lying about their ties to Russia and Russians.
He's got himself a big prison sentence, and he's trying to get a much lesser prison sentence by making up a story.
Cohen's guilty plea is part of a deal with special counsel Robert Mueller. Cohen will be sentenced on December 12th. Meanwhile, President Trump departed this morning for a summit in Argentina with world leaders. He's scheduled to meet with the Chinese president amid the prospect of a full-blown trade war. The U.S. levied new tariffs on China this year in response to what it calls unfair trade practices, and additional tariffs could be coming. President Trump was also scheduled to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin, but that meeting was abruptly canceled today. Russian news agencies say the Kremlin has not been notified of a cancellation of that meeting. House Speaker Paul Ryan is preparing to retire after 20 years in Congress. And Speaker Ryan is on the House floor thanking the people of Wisconsin's 1st District and his district staff. He says his two biggest regrets as he prepares to leave office are not successfully dealing with immigration and the national debt. Ryan announced in April that he would not seek re-election and will retire in January. Republican Brian Steele takes on Ryan's first congressional seat.
I am immensely grateful to the people of southern Wisconsin for their trust and their confidence. I've always had this thing about calling the people I represent not my constituents, but my employers. It's the way I've always thought this, and I think it's important that members understand that we work for the people and not the other way around, that we are in this to make a difference for them.
And tonight, Speaker Ryan will attend an unveiling of his Budget Committee chair portrait in the Rayburn Room at the Capitol. And there's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
A homemade soup that's perfect for the season. Grab yourself a spoon, and I'll meet you right back here in the test kitchen. As the weather gets cooler and cooler, there's nothing like a comforting bowl of soup to warm you up. And since we love cooking with the seasons, today we're sharing a recipe that starts with two fall favorites, apples and butternut squash. To make it, we begin by melting butter in a soup pot, along with some cut up butternut squash, a chunked up apple, and a bit of chopped onion. When it comes to the squash, you can use a fresh cut one, or you can save some time by buying a pre-cut one from the produce department. After a bit, we add in some spices, you know, our fall favorites, cinnamon, nutmeg, and some salt and pepper, along with some chicken broth. Now we cover it and let it simmer until it's fall apart tender. To make your soup velvety smooth, you can puree it in a blender, or if you have an immersion blender, you can use it right in the pot. Add some half and half and you're good to go. Talk about the perfect soup for this time of year. Maybe top each bowl with a few croutons and dig in. If you'd like the recipe for our butternut squash and apple soup, simply visit our website. I know you'll be glad you did. I'm Howard of the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a super creamy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, a cold and cloudy Thursday, and we could see some wintry weather this weekend. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield will have your first alert forecast when we come back. Well, stocks slip on Wall Street and how parents are helping their kids out of financial debt. Giovanni Durpic has more in today's Money Watch report.
Stocks couldn't keep up yesterday's strong gains at the open. The Dow and Nasdaq fell ahead of the G20 summit, with investors awaiting the outcome of trade talks between the U.S. and China. Oil rebounded from early losses after dropping below the $50 a barrel mark for the first time in more than a year. Early Thursday morning, oil fell to $49.41 following concerns about oversupply. But it's good news at the gas pump. AAA says gas prices are about 30 cents a gallon lower this month. The gender pay gap may be wider than previously thought. That's according to a report from the Institute of Women's Policy Research. Census data had shown women make 80 cents for every dollar a man earns. But a broader study that measures working arrangements like time off taken to have children shows women earn just 49 cents for each dollar that a man was paid over a 15-year span. And if your child has debt, you'll probably bail them out. A recent survey by creditcards.com shows 9 in 10 parents would help get their kid out of a financial mess and would be willing to shell out more than $5,000. If kids are planning to ask their parents for money, they may want to try dad first. The survey says he'll fork over about $2,000 more than mom. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Giovanna Dierpick.
All right, at the noon hour, the Dow Industrial is down 76 points. The NASDAQ down an even 14. Let's check in now with Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee in the radio suite on this snowy Thursday.
Just makes me laugh thinking about hitting up your dad first.
Yeah, go to dad
money.
first. Yeah.
You know, even old broads like me knew that strategy. I didn't need a survey to tell me about it. So that's kind of interesting.
Dad's the softie.
Yeah, that's right. And $2,000's worth of softie more than mom. Yeah, I'd say so, at least in my experience. Anyhow, let's talk about what's happening in the marketplace. Dow Jones Industrial Average, that's a little bit of a surprise to me. Our commodities are actually mixed. Nothing robust, really, but they're a little bit stronger. The big news this morning, I have been on the phone all morning. It looks like they're done with the Farm Bill, at least as far as they can get. Mike Conaway, the House Ag Chair, was telling farm broadcasters about an hour ago that the premise of everything is done. Now they just have to get it in writing. Then they have to have some of the people that have been involved in the process come back and sign the documents. Then they have to move it on towards scheduling. That's going to be the real devil. The one thing that I'm kind of paying attention to is Conaway said, we don't know if it's going to be standalone legislation or if it's going to be partnered up with something else. You know how it goes at the end of the year. Everybody kind of wants to jump on. The Farm Bill was set up as a priority item when they gave it its bill assignment, H.R. 2. Now you start thinking about combining it with other stuff that may not be quite so palatable. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But the bottom line is they're done with the Farm Bill in premise. Now we just got to try to get it scheduled for a vote in the House, Senate, and then onto the president's desk. Markets are waiting for that G20 meeting to commence tomorrow in Buenos Aires. Again, you just never know what's going to be talked about or tweeted that may impact agriculture. So everybody's kind of watching their marbles real close when it comes to short-term investment in our commodities. Barrel cheese today up 7 cents. That's nice to see it. $1.31. 40-pound block cheese unchanged at $1.36. The AA butter 2 1/4 cents higher yesterday, $2.22 1/4 per pound. So again, the dairy perking up a little bit. But the good news is, Mark, looks like they're just crossing the T's and dotting the I's now on the Farm Bill. Keep our fingers crossed they can get that big piece of legislation done and to the president's desk before January 1st.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Pam.
Yep. Dave's
here now. And depends where you are. Not a lot of snow last night?
Yeah, not a lot. I mean, we definitely have a lot to talk about in this weathercast. But yeah, just kind of a nuisance system, as you mentioned at the top of the show, Mark, with about 1/2 inch to 1 inch of snow falling basically everywhere across southern Wisconsin. Here are some snow totals through this morning. The big winner actually in Crawford County, close to Lynxville Dam. But Madison picking up 1 inch of snow there. And so that actually gets us pretty close to average snowfall for the month of November. That's supposed to be about 3.5 inches, and we're basically right there, actually a little bit less than normal as far as total precipitation goes. The liquid equivalency, we're right about 1.7 inches of snow, but we do have some snow depth to talk about, while our neighbors just to the south and southwest have a lot of that snow still on the ground. We can now join them in saying, hey, you know, we have some stuff on the ground as well, not as much as you, but we'll get there, possibly. We do have a couple of systems on the way that won't necessarily bring us a lot of snow, but they could be kind of messy, and that's really what has us concerned right now. That system that brought us some snow moving to the north and east, but closer to southern Iowa, you could see some of that mixed precipitation still showing up on radar. This is our next wave that will come in overnight and could bring some spots, especially south of Madison, just a little bit in the way of some sleet and snow, possibly even some freezing drizzle. So to start Friday morning, some of us will have to be prepared for that possibility. We'll watch that closely. Downtown Madison on the Edgewater Skycam, cloudy skies right now, but no snow falling from those skies. I don't think that's going to be the case for at least the next 12 to 24 hours. Forecast high for today, 34, so still just a little bit below where we should be for this time of year. Other temperatures into the upper 20s in the Dells, already at 30 in Madison, 32 in Janesville, and 31 in Platteville. So we're still chilly. chilly outside, but not as chilly as compared to yesterday. And you can see that on our 24-hour temperature change, about 5 degrees warmer compared to the lunch hour on Wednesday. Wind speeds not too bad, although bring just some slightly warmer air into town, so we can thank them for that. We do have alert days in the forecast for Saturday and Sunday. Freezing rain is possible, and anytime we talk about any type of ice, that is not nice. That gets our attention very quickly. That will change over to rain, and then for Sunday, another mixed precipitation event possible early, and then rain and snow will be ending late. So let's take a look at that quickly on our future track. This is our European model, so this is just one solution, but then overnight we could be talking about just a little bit of freezing drizzle. On Saturday, we're watching to see temperatures, if we'll start out with some freezing rain or if it will just all be rain, and then temperatures cooling down on Sunday, where we could have some more freezing rain and then a rain-snow mix before everything kind of is said and done on Monday. So could be definitely on the messy side this weekend. We're going to have to watch that very closely. Just a few degrees could make the biggest difference there in that forecast. So keep it tuned to News 3. We'll have the latest updates. After that alert day, some light snow possible Monday through Wednesday, and we're quieting down by the time we get to Thursday. Temperatures in the 20s now.
Ice is the worst.
Ice is not nice at all.
No, it's not. I'll find my yak tracks.
Yes.
Thank you, Dave. There's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, Marissa DeGroot from the Dane County Humane Society is here with our pet of the week. We're going to meet Bucky, a hound mix. Oh, and look who else is in the house. I'll be right back. Marissa DeGroot from the Dane County Humane Society is here with our pet of the week, and Santa Claus. We'll find out why you're here, Santa, to say ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho,
Merry
ho.
Christmas. Hi, Marissa.
Hi.
Who do we got here?
This handsome guy is Bucky, And he is a younger adult hound mix, definitely under 5 years old, more like that, probably 3 to 4 years.
He's got some scarring on his back.
Yeah, he's got a couple things going on here. He looks in a bit of rough shape, but he's got some scarring on his back. Something happened to him when he was a puppy. We're not exactly sure. He also has some little shave spots there, and what's going on there is he actually is finishing up treatment for heartworm.
Okay, so he's being treated.
Yep, and again, that's something that can sound maybe a little bit scary, but he is finishing up that treatment, and once he's done, he should be healthy, happy, and ready for a home that can keep up with his active personality.
And that treatment's not going to cost anybody who adopts him.
Nope, we are finishing that up at the Humane Society. The most you're going to do if you would come and adopt Bucky is we're going to have you come on in for some checkups with us.
He is a great-looking dog.
Shake.
Oh, what a good boy.
And so smart, too. And what he's
boy.
looking for is a family that can help him learn a lot more. He is so smart already. Can you show him down?
Oh, he is smart.
Yeah.
And he's a hound.
He is a hound, so probably not an apartment dweller.
He's got a loud voice. You haven't heard it here, but
he can project.
he can speak. And Sandy, you're going to be busy on Saturday.
All going to be busy Saturday with Santa Paws taking pets pictures with Santa at the dog hut.
Yeah,
So,
yep, in McFarland from 8:30 to 11. And it's
Downtown McFarland?
Yep, and it's pretty close to the shelter, so you can bring your pets, get their photos taken with Santa, and all the proceeds from that are going to benefit Dane County Humane Society.
And it's what, $5?
Yep, $5 minimum
suggested.
donation.
That's not a bad deal.
Nope, not at all. And Santa loves pets, so bring your pets in because they are going to get some great photos here.
Not just dogs, cats.
Cats, dogs, I've had
Hedgehogs?
Hedgehogs. I've had bearded lizards, bearded dragon lizards.
Santa loves them all.
Oh, yes.
So get it done this weekend because your schedule is filling up after this.
Very busy, yes.
All right, so Saturday, get your picture taken with Santa. And last week, our pet of the week.
Oh, we had Theodore.
Oh.
Look at those ears go. And we're so excited. He did get adopted.
That's great.
And we're so excited for him. And if you want to come meet Bucky,
See?
yeah, you tell them, Bucky. He's going to be going into a foster home to spend the holidays in a nice, more home atmosphere. So if you'd like to meet Bucky without making an appointment ahead of time, come meet us back at the shelter soon.
You have to come today.
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's get Bucky home. Santa, happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you,
Marissa,
too,
good
Mark.
to see you.
Thank you.
Go to giveshelter.org for information on Bucky and all the critters available. You have to go out there today if you want to see them. 838-0413, the number to call. And let's get one final check of the forecast. Here's Dave.
Well, Mark, mostly cloudy skies today. No snow to worry about this afternoon. Still remaining cold, though, with temperatures in the 30s. Some of us, especially south of Madison, could pick up a little bit of freezing drizzle overnight. But then we're turning our attention to this weekend system alert days for Saturday and Sunday.
All right, keep an eye on things. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4. Have a great afternoon.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.